It isn't every day you find a game like ABZû, where it takes you to a new world. And this world may be familiar, but in reality, the ocean, this world that it takes you to, is something that we just don't really know that much about. You start off the game as just a little guy. Nothing is said about him. We don't know his name. We don't know his motive. Actually, we don't even know if it's actually a boy or a girl. But anyway, we have our player, and you start in this openness of nothing, and you have no sense of where to go, what's right, what's wrong, or how you got there. And that, to me, is fantastic. My name is Jack and No Trades, and this is my first episode of Game Feels. And what we want to share with you is the experiences that ABZû gave myself, and hopefully that'll transfer onto you guys if you choose to explore this game. And I highly recommend it. This is not a review, this isn't a commentary, this is just me sharing what this game makes you feel like. It's Game Feels. ABZû, like I said, drops you off in the middle of nowhere. You're in the ocean, and you can surface, you can look up, you can look around, and there's nothing. There may be the occasional algae or moss floating, but in reality, the world that's intended for you is below the surface. You dive down, you explore, and it's a sudden sense of wonderment. You may start out in just a sandy area with a few group of fish, and the next minute you may be in a kelp forest riding turtles through the environment. And the colors pop. Every fish is vibrant, every fish is full of life, and you will find yourself lost in this environment, these zones, for however long you choose to be there. There is no time limit, there's no rush or clear objective. You explore. Upon exploring, you'll find your fair share of collectibles. You'll find little conch shells that, when activated, they will unlock something actually pretty useful in the long run. I won't spoil it. There's going to be no spoilers here. I think it's a game you truly need to experience for yourself. But so you'll swim around, you'll meet plenty of fish, you'll latch on, you'll ride the larger ones, and then you'll come across a mysterious robot friend who he trails along with you. He sings, he dances, he dives and loops with you. And along your way, you'll find a few more. And in the grand scheme of things, these are your closest companions throughout most of ABZû. No spoilers here, like I said. But they give you comfort. You're in these beautiful worlds, but really, you are alone. And these robots almost feel like a part of your society. The deeper mysteries unfold, and it is very similar to Journey, where upon exploration, you will find ruins, you will find some form of life underwater that is more intelligent than the fish that surround you. One of these said structures are these sharks. They're these shark statues that are hunched over, and you'll find them, and once activated, they allow you to just meditate, and it is exactly how it sounds. It is, you sit there in the peace and quiet of the ocean, and you basically watch the environment have life. For example, you may be watching a larger fish just float around, but soon it may get hungry and decide, oh, it's time to eat. And the next minute, after you've been following around the larger fish, you'll zoom into something smaller, just hiding in the kelp forest. And these segments are what you make of it. You can stay here, you can, even from the main menu, you can choose meditate, and it shows a list of which ones you found, and you can just set it as a background and listen to the beautiful music that the composers have created for you. These pieces come in at exactly the right moment. One of my favorite early moments in the game is when you first enter a subcurrent and you're whizzing through, and the melodies, they begin just there. They're in the background and they linger, and then just when you dive in the current, the violins, the cellos, they pick up and you feel that intensity and the rush of just bolting through the water. A lot of comparisons are going to be made to Journey when we talk about this game, and the music is just as great, and the timing is perfect. When you find a piece of a puzzle that you've been looking for and it activates one of the locks on the door, a little bit of tone in the music is going to change in a more positive way. On the flip side, we can go from that subcurrent, we're diving through the water, swimming. Organic ocean life will just join in you. Orcas will swim with you. They will flip, they will spin, you'll hear them cry. And you have this rush, this excitement, and it's real. It's real emotion, and you feel like you're truly exploring the ocean. And it's fantastic. But then in an instant, that beauty can be stripped away, and the melodies, the music themselves, they just die. They simmer down to the quietness of the ocean, and you feel, for the first time, you feel truly alone and almost in danger. There are no real threats in this game, but there are moments of peril and genuine uneasiness. You can be diving in the ocean, and then suddenly a drop off that you can go to. You can decide to take the plunge and explore the cavern that you've been given, and you will slowly drift down as your headlamps turn on and that flicker of light is the only source. You'll be exploring ruins. You'll be exploring basically the ocean floor, and especially finding the odd creatures that inhabit it. By far the most chilling but eerily beautiful moments of this game is in between levels. You'll go to, in my opinion, the spirit realm, if you will, where it shows that all of the world is interconnected. And yes, it's a hub world, but the way it's presented is utterly jaw-dropping and epic in the scheme of things and how adventure games are played out, because there's always a mystery. There's a mystery to be solved. You can ignore it. You can take your time and explore it. In the game, these hub worlds are just beautiful. And the music, it ties it together. You'll find, as I've mentioned, these dead zones. And if I were to guess, I would say it's up to us, the player, to bring back the life of these areas. And it's apparent when it's almost as if our player reaches inside and brings a part of his soul into the environment, and that rush of bringing beauty back. The music itself returns full force, and you're rewarded in a way with new creatures and new abilities and ways to explore this area you've already been to, but it's 100% different when it's back to life. The feelings that best sum up ABZÜ, and the ones that I hope you also feel when you play this game, are joy, wonderment, and a little bit of fear thrown in there as well. The joy comes from exploring the environment and finding new things and truly being mesmerized and blown away by the life that fills the ocean and the fact that these creatures are found on our planet, and some of them we still don't even know about. The wonderment and that feeling of being amazed comes from the creative spiritual sides of the game. Without spoiling anything, it all comes together at the end when the ocean almost feels like it's showing its appreciation to you for solving the problems that were flooding or plaguing its land. And I'm going to avoid all spoilers here, so don't worry. Game Fields will never reveal any plot points that are instrumental to that experience that you will have. But near the end, you'll have this rush, this almost go-get-em attitude, and you'll feel like the king of the ocean. And it's, like I said, it's almost like the ocean and the life forms that inhabit it are thanking you for what you've done. The fear itself comes from the unknown, that emptiness, and exploring the depths and the creatures that inhabit it. I could feel the pressure of the water. You hear those horror stories of you've gone deep and your ears pop, and as you're going down, you feel that. You know you've gone deep, and then you swim deeper, and then you find another cavern that just drops and plummets, and it isn't an invisible wall. You are meant to explore the floor of the ocean, and you have this fear of what could possibly be down here. And as you swim, things just start appearing, and you're blind. You're blind unless it is in front of your face. You don't know what you're looking at, and it's beautifully terrifying. Play ABZÜ, experience ABZÜ, and feel ABZÜ. As a gamer who loves games, as someone who sees the art in the product, I know you will too. It is there. It is an adventure. You will love it. Guys, this is Jack and No Trades, and I cannot wait to talk about the next game, the next episode of Game Fields.